Okay.
Hi guys, welcome again. At our channel, as we always said, we discuss startups, compliance, and everything in between, which is a lot. So today I have a very special guest. It's my friend from a different mother and different father. His name is
Ramzy.
Ramzy.
Ramzy al-Masry.
And Ramzy from?
I'm originally from Egypt, but I've been living here in the Netherlands for the last almost 9 years.
Yeah.
Almost 9 years.
Right. So basically, I met Ramzy for the first time when he served at ISACA in Netherlands chapter. As foreigner, we click very fast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
in a foreign country. By the way, so for your information, I do have some questions that I collect from my team members and some of my audience, right? So, but before that, just introduce yourself. More like what you're busy with at the moment. How did you end up in Netherlands from Egypt?
Oh, that's a good, interesting story. So maybe start with what I'm doing now and then go back.
Sure.
So I'm now a deputy CISO for cloud and infrastructure for a Dutch software company, mainly in the accountancy and bookkeeping. That's one side. The other side is I own a small startup. I think this is interesting to say. It's called, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, of course.
It's called RawSecure LLC. It's based in Atlanta, Georgia in the US. Mainly into consultancy about security. We started as a mainly tech-savvy company. That was our main idea, to provide tech solutions.
Okay.
But we ended up also doing some GRC. These things change. Yeah. I'm also an angel investor in a very nice company. I don't think Ferry would advise you to invest in it. I don't also. No, I'm just joking. But it's a company in the field of whistleblowing and also compliance. It's called Confide Platform. The owner of the company is a friend of mine, just like Ferry is a friend of mine. He's from Singapore, so also from a neighboring country from you, Ferry.
Yeah.
And he has been the whistleblower behind a very famous case called the Wirecard case. Maybe read about it, $2 billion of fraud or unrealized returns, if that's the correct term. Please don't quote me for the legal stuff. I'm not a legal guy, I'm a security guy. But yeah, that's more or less what I do for the moment. How I ended up in the Netherlands. I think this is an easy one to say. And think maybe, I don't know, like if your audience is interested to hear a little bit of a humanitarian story.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I was working for a French company in Egypt. We were serving a lot of European customers. I even helped build the business unit back then, 2012. There was no war, no sanctions. So I helped build the business unit in China. And also did some work with Russia, because back then, again, things were a bit different.
Everybody's a friend.
Yeah, and we hope, one day peace comes back, right? But it's not a bad wish for everyone. Peace is something important. And I helped build the team in Egypt. So we started around, when I joined, they were like 15.
Okay.
We ended up becoming 88, 89.
Cool.
Majority of them, I gave them technical trainings, because back then I was working as a technical security engineer. So most of them are friends. One of them came to the Netherlands to join her brother. Let's say, think of it as a whole family immigrated, and she was the only one left back. And she started working in storage, a very famous storage provider. And she wanted to come back to security, and gave me a call asking like, okay, how can I come back? What is the new trends? What, she was still again technical, I was still technical. So what vendors, whom to go to? I provided her a lot of guidance, and I think she was one of the best, to be honest. But for some reason, she failed the interview.
Okay.
And the second time, they gave her 10 days.
Yeah.
I called her again, helped, but she failed again. Don't ask me how.
Okay.
By the way, she works in a very, very famous security vendor now. She's doing great, so I don't know why she failed these two. Meanwhile, I needed to leave the country for medical reasons. Mm-hmm. And she asked me, like, do you think if I refer you, it makes sense? And I said, yes. But I was like, who would refer someone after failing 2 interviews? And that's how it happened, actually.
Oh.
On her way out from the second failed interview, she was rejected. She knew. For some unknown reason, the manager asked her, do you want to get someone, or do you have someone to refer? She referred me, and this is how I came to the Netherlands.
Man, so actually, you end up, being interviewed for the role that she applied,
Yes.
and you got it.
And I got it. And I got it from the first few seconds. And I even talked to my manager, like, why did you reject her? And he said, I don't know. It was really pure luck. I needed to get out for medical reasons.
Yeah.
And I think it was somehow kind of a miracle, if people don't mind me saying that.
Okay.
She also got a good career, so don't worry. it's not like I took her only chance, but yeah.
Okay. So the question is not so much related to security, by the way, but if you want to combine, it's also fine. So I don't know whether you've heard about this or not, but in Indonesia, especially on the younger generation part, like there is this like a movement called kabur aja dulu. I mean, like if we translate literally, it's like, let's get out of this country. Sounds familiar? Okay.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
In my generation, the people who left Egypt, I'm originally, as I said, from Egypt, people who left were seen as the success makers, or the people who made it. And the people who stayed were seen as like the bad, I don't want to say losers, because nobody was saying that, but like, oh yeah, you couldn't make it. But I don't think that's right, just an FYI.
All right. So then, as someone who managed to get out of your home country, make a successful career here in Netherlands, completely different culture, different language. Of course, we do things mostly in English, but if you can give them advice, as in like, hey, if you decide to go out, please prepare yourself about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or please make sure that, I don't know, you are ready for, basically, just to be very open and honest, saying that, hey, it's not always milk and honey.
No, it's not always milk
out
and
there.
honey.
But then instead of me who telling them, I'll let you to tell them.
I would say something, guys, like, and it's very sincere from my heart. First of all, know where you are on the competitiveness edge, because you don't want to leave your country where you have maybe a good career, a good life, and a good social life, at least your family, friends, and all of a sudden you end up in a different country where you're not really the A student, you're not really the successful person, because then you feel lost. You cannot go back because you feel a shame of like, I want to go back, failure, but actually back is better. And you cannot stay here because the opportunities are being thought about with loads of people. You're especially countries that allow and attract talent, they can attract from anywhere. So you need to know where you are. And that doesn't mean I see myself as the best person in the world. It's also a matter of chance. But what I want to say is, be truthful to yourself. Can you really make it? Are you really made up for this? Did you do the effort, took the certifications, depending, I think we're talking generally, not just a certain field, but depending, like in security, I would say the easier path to get out of your country is to become a very technically savvy person. That means a lot of certifications. And just by coincidence, almost 3 months ago, I was giving a whole session about cloud security, because cloud is not now. Even just the future, it's now and in the future. AI is coming, so very lately we have AI audit. What is that? There is a law in the not Netherlands, but like in the EU, it's called AI Act. Do you know about these? Do you know about? So this is mainly from a career perspective. Know where you are. Be truthful to yourself. Don't think about me as a judge. I don't judge you. I would love you to be successful, but you have to be honest with yourself. Am I really possible to do it or not? Or capable? The second part is, and this would sound like a career coach, but do a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What is really your strength to the country you want to go? We know, for example, in the Netherlands, you can do a lot in English, but also if you start speaking Dutch, wide open doors open for you, really. Like if I'm fluent in Dutch, my life is 20 times better than now. It doesn't mean it's bad now, but it's way easier. I get integrated. So also do the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, where I am, see the country you're going to go, understand their cultural views about where you're coming from. I know that you're mainly talking to Indonesia, but I think your platform is open, so maybe there are other people from other places. So it's again nothing against Indonesians. By the way, Indonesians and Egyptians are kind of very close. You can see we are close. So it's not a matter of like me putting a hat from a certain area and saying, the others are bad. No, it's just being truthful. I don't fit the stereotype where I come from because my family lives all across the world, for example. So whenever I meet anyone, they have a preconceived idea about my name, my religion, my social status, my marital status, even though it's all wrong. Also accept the fact that you will get some, I don't want to call it racism because that's a big term. Nobody's going to run behind you with a whip or something. But it's important to know that people will see you as different. So different is always intriguing and frightening. You need to be aware of this. You need to be aware of their cultures and traditions. I have an assumption about Indonesia because I've never been there. So I know that
you should come.
Majority, I would love to. Majority are Muslims. That's at least my understanding. Right. I come also from a majority country of the Muslims. So, for example, hijab, the head cover for women, is very common. Here, it's not as common. It's there, but it's not as common. So, I have friends who also came from Egypt here, ladies, who suffered a bit of like questions that they didn't like. People looking at them because they look different. It's not racism. Nobody was hurt or nobody was, insulted or offended. But for them, it was weird. For me, I was kind of expecting it because it's not what is common here. No. So maybe I touched on a sensitive topic. My objective is not to touch on the sensitive topic, but to tell you about the need to be insensitive sometimes, need to be open to why people are different to you. Maybe that's what I could think of clearly. Aside from that, I would say be open to know the culture of the country you're coming in. The Netherlands, for example, is very straightforward and very blunt, which in my own culture, this is what we call rudeness sometimes.
Yeah.
But that is not the case. They are not trying to be rude. So, give you a funny thing just to laugh because I was too real for a moment. On Saturday, I went with a friend in the morning. He wanted to buy some fresh fish, so I went to the market. Yeah. While parking my car, I have a small injury in my leg right now, so I'm limping a little bit. And I'm fat. I'm not saying I'm not. I mean, it looks on the camera. But a Dutch guy, out of nowhere, I have no clue who is that guy, came to me and said in my face, like, maybe if you lose some weight, it will be easier for you to move.
It's a fact.
Yeah,
it's some good recommendations, but yeah, but in other cultures it can be very rude.
Very rude. Like, I don't know you, you don't know me.
Yeah.
And I had two options: either to get mad at him, which is the Egyptian answer to this, or to understand he thinks he's trying to be funny or trying to be useful.
Yeah.
So I answered him, yeah, I've been trying, which is true also. I'm not lying. I've been trying to lose weight, and it just takes time. My friend who was Egyptian was about to punch him in the face because he's not used to that culture yet.
Yeah. I understand.
And I'm not saying it's acceptable everywhere. I was not so nice, but this is the kind of things that you will see. I think this is more enough.
Cool. All right, man. So, by the way, this is a short video for now. I will make sure that I find another time with Ramzy because I have a lot of topics to talk with him, and then I'm sure that it can be shared with you as well. But for now, thank you for your time today.
You're most welcome.
And then
thank you.
I'll see you next time. All right. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Bye.